Wishing you a good day, dear student. This is Ankita from the Day's classes. So children, oxygen. As we have discussed in our previous video, oxygen, its importance, its representation, atomic mass, atomic number. For this you have to just watch the previous video. Today we are here with another part of this one. And I think the link of this video, you don't have to move here and there to find it out. It is already given in the description box of the same the same video. The description box you will search from the bottom side. Then you will find the video of previous link is already being pasted over there. So please don't move here and there and just waste your time. You have to recall the things to go with the next one. So we are here to discuss the two important points. First is here you can see on my board I have written photosynthesis. First of all, I will go with the explanation as well as afterwards we are going to discuss about the physical as well as the chemical properties of oxygen. That is very, very important. For 3 marks or for 5 marks the questions is being asked. Clear, no? Photosynthesis is very, very common for you. Most of you have learned the presence making of food, or you can say even the plants make their own food in presence of sunlight. Photosynthesis takes place. But through your chemical reactions, what are the things you are going to use? What are basically the compounds combination you have used to form the photosynthesis, or what is the actual reactant? That we are going to see in this video. Clear, no? So children, please keep in mind when you are reminding the oxygen, learn previous things again and again. So let's come to the point. Photosynthesis was when carbon dioxide is being reacted with oxygen, water in presence of your chlorophyll. Then a special compound is formed, and the name of that compound is what? Glucose. And something is being released that you have to see and understand what type of thing is being released in the form of others. That means your oxygen is being released out. And when the photosynthesis process is being occurred between the plants, always the oxygen is being released, and that oxygen we living beings are taking to survive on this beautiful world. Understood, no? So this process. So let's try to understand from here through the reactions. No need to write with the words. Clear, children? When 6CO2 react with 6H2O. Please note it down. 6 is just to balance that one, where CO2 is your carbon dioxide and H2O is your water. We are not going to ask for this reactions as well as the substance which they are having with this in presence of what? In presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. Chlorophyll, you know, plants green plants which make their own foods. That is in presence of sunlight. Plants or the leaves which are green in color, they all are having chlorophyll, green color pigment present in the plant. They are your chlorophyll. A special compound is being formed, that is your glucose, C6H12 and O6. What is that? The compound is C6H12O6 plus, you can see when you have to balance that equation, C you are having how much? 6. Okay. Hydrogen you are having 6 2s are 12. Almost balance. Then oxygen you are having 6 2s are 12. But 6 only I have taken. Now how much we warm on? 6 6 12. That means 6O2 is still left with here. And that same will be in an upward way. Clear from this point? That means what? If you are going to write, that one is also okay. If you are not going to write, there is no problem in that. So when these two are going to react with each other, glucose is formed. That means there's energy which is stored in the plant. They are stored in the form of glucose. And what is being released? Oxygen is being released during this process. So now children, if somebody will ask you as per your label, please don't go with the definitions. You have to learn the things. When carbon dioxide reacts with hydrogen in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, glucose plus oxygen is being formed. Now with this, you have to learn the reaction. This is the reaction of your photosynthesis. Clear? Please go with it. Now next part of this, we are going to discuss about the physical properties as well as chemical properties of oxygen. Clear? So I think you did. So let's erase. Mark your next point. Properties. And in this property, you are going to learn about physical as well as chemical properties. Clear, no? So please mark properties of oxygen. Now, always first we are discussing physical property and then we are going to discuss about your chemical properties. And in that, we are going to learn about the reactions or what type of changes we are going to see. Actually, the appearance, solubility, reactions, melting, boiling point, these all are the things which we are going to see in your properties of oxygen. Clear, children? So let's move with this. First is your physical property. Physical property. And that first point of yours is, I'll use another color dark marker. First we are going to talk about nature. First point, nature. When we are going to talk about the nature of oxygen. So oxygen is your colorless, odorless and tasteless gas. Simple things you have to write. Nature is what? Short form we will write colorless, odorless, and last you will write and tasteless. Means by seeing we cannot identify, we cannot see, we cannot smell, as well as we cannot taste. That is the presence, physical presence of this one. I am not going to write for all, only some which most of the things I will explain you in verbal. फर्स्ट पॉइंट नेचर समझ में आ गया बेटा. ऑक्सीजन के नेचर को समझने के लिए ऑक्सीजन किस तरह का चीज है. फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टी में बेसिकली हम यही सारी चीज पढ़ते हैं. केमिकल प्रॉपर्टी जब पढ़ेंगे तो वहां पे हम केमिकल रिएक्शंस को देखेंगे. ठीक है, कि किस तरह का केमिकल रिएक्शन उनके बीच में ऑकर हो रहा है. क्लियर. सो सेकंड पॉइंट यू हैव टू मेंशन इट फ्रॉम हियर, दैट विल बी योर फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज. इन सेकंड वन, कलर एग्जिबिटेड. Color exhibited. That means what type of color it will give. Third of yours will be the oxidations as well as solubility. So when you are going to talk about color, pale blue. What is the basic color of this one? Pale blue. Where? In liquid and solid. अब समझ में आ गया. तो इसकी प्रेजेंस हम यहां से भी कर सकते हैं कि लिक्विड और सॉलिड में किस कलर का होगा? ब्लू. राइट. नेक्स्ट वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट सॉल्युबिलिटी. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम व्हाट हैपन, इट इज सॉल्युबल इन वाटर. सो थर्ड प्रॉपर्टी व्हिच वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस अबाउट एंड अंडरलाइन इज योर नेचर, कलर एक्सिबिटेड, solubility. Fourth is your density. Always its density is what? Heavier than air. Density you can note it down. It is heavier than. It is heavier than air. मतलब इसकी डेंसिटी क्या है? किससे भारी है? हवा से भी भारी है. Clear? Now fifth point you will write about this one, and that will be, now please recall, nature, color exhibited, solubility, then density, then next is your melting point, and last is your sixth is your boiling point. So when we are going to talk about the physical property of this one, these all are the points which you have to remember, and that are nature, color exhibited, solubility, density, melting point, boiling point. Its melting and boiling point is measured in Kelvin. That will melting point will be 54.4 Kelvin and your boiling point is 90.02 Kelvin. Last property of this is liquefaction. What is the last property? Liquefaction. That means it is being converted into liquid in which state, at which temperature? It is being converted into liquid at minus 183 degree. At which temperature? Minus 183 degree Celsius. See how cold that temperature should be there. Minus means which one? Freezing or melting? Freezing point. Boiling or freezing? Or you can say melting or freezing. Freezing point is minus 183. सोचो कितना ज्यादा टेम्परेचर. उस टेम्परेचर पे ऑक्सीजन क्या होगा? लिक्विड फॉर्म में होगा. किस कलर में? पेल ब्लू कलर में. So basically, as per your class, these 7 properties are important. First is your nature, color exhibited, solubility, density, melting point, boiling point. 500 what I said before, 554.4 Kelvin is the melting point, as well as your boiling point is 90.2 Kelvin. Clear? And when you are going to talk about liquefaction, that will be, it is being converted into liquid at which temperature? To pale blue color at temperature minus 183 degrees Celsius. Clear? When we are going to talk about its chemical properties, it's easy for you to understand. Shall I erase this? Note it down. Please take a screenshot of this one. Now, when we are going to talk about its chemical properties. So 7 point basically you have read in examinations when the things are asked. Children, don't go with the deep discussions of this one. If you are going to write the point as well, then also you will score the good mark. So next is your chemical properties. ठीक है? Clear? So let's start. Here we would like to discuss about the chemical properties, that means with which things I told already, when chemically oxygen is being reacted, the oxides are formed, and definitely the oxygen is being reacted. So first properties which we are going to discuss, action with litmus. Action with litmus. That means litmus, you know, blue, it turns blue, litmus red, or red is not blue. So from here we are going to decide whether it is acidic or basic. So what does it do? It is neutral to the litmus, because when you are going to see in nature, it is tasteless, odorless, as well as colorless. So here you can write as a point, it is neutral. It is neutral to litmus. Clear, children? It is neutral to what? It is neutral to litmus. And second property which we are going to write and learn, please note it down. Supporter of combustion. So in beginning of my previous video already I have said what is the basic use. Basically it is used for, it is supporting combustion as well as burning. Supporter of combustion. So whenever we have to burn something, then we are always we require oxygen, no? So that is also comes under your chemical properties. Clear? And last is your oxidation reaction. That means removal of oxygen. Oxidation reaction. So basically when we are going to discuss as per your class, these three are important for you when we are going to discuss about physical property, nature, solubility, melting point, boiling point. Then you are going to talk about its density. Understood, no? Here, your class, how you can check action with litmus, supporter of combustion. जब litmus पर check करेंगे उसको तो क्या होगा? Litmus paper कोई color देगा ही नहीं, वो neutral होगा. ठीक है? दूसरा, जब हम supporter of combustion की बात करेंगे, that means when you have to burn something, always oxygen is required. That's why. Third is your oxidation reaction. So children, please take a screenshot of this one. Now, moving on the next part of yours, we are going to learn in a detailed way that oxides. So in this, we are going to learn about the graphical representation, or you can say through mind map, we are going to learn about the oxides. In my previous video, you can find that link in the description box. There I have explained the types of oxide. 4 types. This acidic, basic, amphoteric, as well as your neutral. So children, let's have the short that you can see graphical representation. From here you can understand the things. Afterwards we have the deep discussions on that. So when we are going to discuss about that, we'll see Now please note it down. The definition for us, almost the oxygen part is over. Properties and their behavior as well. Next point which we are going to discuss for you is your oxides. What is children? Oxides. Clear, no? So I told it is an ion. It is formed by the chemical reactions, either by sharing or loose or gain or by transport of electron of oxygen it is formed. So it has been classified into two parts. How many parts it has been classified? It has been classified into two parts. First is your binding with metals. Binding with the metals. And other is your binding with non-metals. Please note it down. This is important to understand that what we are going to learn exactly. Binding with non-metals. Clear? That means oxides can combine with metals, so it will form basic oxides. When it is combined with non-metals, when it is combined with metal, it will form basic. When it will combine with non-metals, it will form acidic. That representation as well as definition I have given in my previous video. So for this case, when you are having this combinations, so when they are going to combine with non-metals, when they are going to combine with which metals? When they are going to combine with non-metals, they are going to form non-metallic oxides. ये तो आपको सीधा सीधा दिख रहा है, नॉन मेटल से कंबाइन होगा ऑक्सीजन का फॉर्म ऑक्साइड, तो क्या बनाएगा? नॉन मेटेलिक oxides. Clear? And when oxide is being going to combine with metal, then it will form metallic oxides. Please note it down. Clear, no? Please note it down, that one. Now, non-metallic oxide is being classified into two, and metallic oxide is also being classified into two. Please have a look in which form it is classified. Clear, no? So when this non-metal is being combined with oxides, it will form either your acidic oxides as well as your neutral oxides. So when you are going to see, children, it has been classified into two. What is? Acidic oxides as well as neutral oxides. मैं फिर से आपको यहाँ बताऊंगी, इसके लिए आप अगर प्रीवियस वीडियो को देखें तो वो ज्यादा अच्छे से समझ में आएगा. ठीक है, तो हमने यहाँ क्या पढ़ा? नॉन मेटेलिक ऑक्साइड जो है वो एसिडिक बनाते हैं. जब भी कोई नॉन मेटल ऑक्सीजन के साथ रिएक्ट करेगा तो हमेशा कौन सा ऑक्साइड बनाएगा? एसिड वाला ही ऑक्साइड बनाएगा. क्लियर? मेटेलिक ऑक्साइड इज बीइंग क्लासिफाइड इनटू टू. दैट विल बी योर फर्स्ट इज योर बेसिक ऑक्साइड्स. क्लियर? फर्स्ट इज व्हाट? बेसिक oxides and other is your amphoteric. और फिर तुम लोग यहाँ से मेरे से पूछोगे ये क्या सब होता है मैम आप, तो बेटा फिर से मैं इसको शॉर्ट डेफिनेशन में बताने जा रही हूँ. आप ध्यान से रखना, अपनी भाषा में इसको याद करना शॉर्ट ट्रिक्स तरीके से. ठीक है, यहाँ देखो, जो भी हमारा केमिकल रिएक्शन हुआ ऑक्सीजन के साथ, तो ऑक्सीजन ने अपना रूप ही बदल दिया और वो किस रूप में आ गया? ऑक्साइड्स के फॉर्म में आ गया. ठीक है, जब ऑक्सीजन ऑक्साइड्स के फॉर्म में आया तो वो दो चीजों से, या तो वो हमारे मेटल से कंबाइन होगा या तो हमारे नॉन मेटल से कंबाइन होगा. जब हमारे मेटल से कंबाइन होगा तो हमारे दो अलग अलग बनाएगा ऑक्साइड्स, और जब हमारा नॉन मेटल के साथ कंबाइन होगा तो वो दो हमारे अलग अलग ऑक्साइड्स बनाएगा. जब नॉन मेटल के साथ कंबाइन हो रहा था तो एसिडिक ऑक्साइड्स बना रहा था. किसी भी चीज का रिएक्शन होगा वो मैं आपको हर एक, ये चारों आपको डिटेल में अलग अलग बताऊंगी. ठीक है, उसके लिए आपको बिल्कुल भी परेशान होने की जरूरत नहीं है. उसके बाद जो न्यूट्रल ऑक्साइड है वो क्या है? ऐसे कंपाउंड जो कि ना तो एसिडिक होते हैं ना ही बेसिक होते हैं, वो हमारे क्या बनाते हैं? न्यूट्रल. किसी तरह की प्रॉपर्टी एग्जिबिट नहीं करते. फिर बेसिक की बात करें जितने भी हमारे मेटेलिक मेटल्स जो है ऑक्साइड्स के साथ रिएक्ट करते हैं तो वो मेटेलिक ऑक्साइड्स बनाते हैं और वो बेसिक प्रॉपर्टीज को शो करते हैं। एम्फोटेरिक वो होता है ऐसे ऑक्साइड्स या ऐसे मेटेलिक ऑक्साइड्स, कौन से ऑक्साइड्स, ये मेटेलिक ऑक्साइड्स जो कि एसिडिक के साथ साथ बेसिक की भी प्रॉपर्टी दिखाएं, मतलब ये वाली भी प्रॉपर्टी दिखाएं और इधर से नॉन मेटल की ये वाली भी प्रॉपर्टी दिखाएं, तो वो हमारा क्या होता है, दैट विल बी आवर एम्फोटेरिक ऑक्साइड्स। सो चिल्ड्रन, I will let you know with a proper example as well as you can say that complete discussion on the examples. I will tell you the name of the elements. Before that, you have to recall the periodic tables. Clear, no? Do you get my point? Do you understand what I said to you? You have to just represent that proper way in what way you are going to find the reactions. If I are going to put some of the compounds in neutral oxide, so what type of thing we are going to, or what type of elements we are going to choose to make the reactions possible. So for that, first of all, you have to learn at least the presence of periodic table, at least some of the compounds till 30. Understood, no? See, in our coming next video, we are going to learn its proper chemical reactions. Do you get my point? Understood? So please take a screenshot, and after that, we are going to conclude this video. If you like this video, please keep your like, share and subscribe to get more updates. So we are going to end up the class, children. Thank you. Have a nice day.